Hi, my name is Susan, and today we're going to cover the topic of channeling, reincarnation, and the demonic influences involved in these practices and belief systems. Now, I'd like to begin this video by saying that whether you are a New Ager or not, I strongly suggest that you watch the video in its entirety before coming into any conclusions, because I believe that the information is extremely important. Now, I'd like to begin talking about demonic influences. And what we need to understand is that demons cannot interfere with your free will. They need an invitation, which is referred to as a process of invocation. Back in the 70s, or was it 80s, in any event, in the Shirley MacLaine era, people would seek out channelers in order to be privy to information from these so-called ascended masters. But times have changed. Channeling is becoming the thing to do. New Agers are doing it, and today's gurus are encouraging it. Now, in the Bible, these supposed channeled ascended masters are referred to as familiar spirits, and God makes it crystal clear regarding his opinion on this matter. So let's go to the Word of God and see what he has to say. And turn to, or go to, Deuteronomy 18 verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abomination of those nations. 10. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire. This is what it's referring to here is Moloch worship or practice. It is a pagan practice of sacrificing children in fire. And to continue, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, which is a form of fortune telling, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, which is a snake charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, and we can include channeling here, or a wizard, or a necromancer, which a necromancer is one who conjures up the dead. Verse 12, for all these things are an abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations the Lord thy God doth driveth them out before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. And one other one, Leviticus chapter 20, verse 6, and the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards, to go a-whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. Now, despite these warnings, one of the most influential women in the world is encouraging this abominable practice of channeling spirit entities. As we view the video clips that I have selected for you, you're going to see that they not only advise you to seek out these familiar spirits, but they're kicking up this abominable practice a notch by suggesting or encouraging you to pray to them as well. Now, in the first clip, what we're going to see is Oprah Winfrey in her Soul Series webcast talking to psychic and channeler Ansley McLeod. Ansley McLeod has written a book called The Instruction, Living the Life Your Soul Intended. The information in this book is channeled information from spirit guides. Let's take a look at the first clip. Watch Oprah as she introduces McLeod and confesses her belief in reincarnation. She's also going to tell you that she is not here to tell you what to believe.
Today I would like to introduce you to a fellow spiritual seeker. Was that how you would call yourself?
Absolutely.
Who has created an instruction guide that is literally called The Instruction, Living the Life Your Soul Intended. It's a guide to help you translate your own soul's code. Ainsley McLeod has used his talents as a psychic, yes, to explore the soul and its effects on human beliefs and behaviors. And his new book, called, again, The Instruction, Living the Life Your Soul Intended, suggests that there are metaphoric doors through which we all must pass in order to decode our soul and ultimately achieve our enlightenment. I had read this book, found it pretty interesting, but also thought, who is this guy? I called up my producer and said, see if you can get this guy for the show, because who is this guy? Who does this guy think he is, telling us about the different levels and that they're 10? And how does he know they're only 10? And who died and left him the expert? And he actually had an answer for that. His spirit guides did. So you can believe it or not believe it. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I think it's kind of fascinating. I found it pretty fascinating for myself when I read the book, certain aspects of the book in terms of determining my soul's age, because I do believe that we come until we can get it all figured out.
Now, she's not telling us what to believe. She is aware of her influence. She calls her webcast the Soul Series, and she's exposing you to the information. Come on, Oprah. All right. In the next clip, we're going to watch the discussion regarding the soul levels. According to McLeod, there are 10 levels. And the more enlightened you become as you pass through successive lives, the higher your soul level. And once you reach 10, the soul level 10, you no longer are required to reincarnate into this world. Oprah was hoping to be a 10. Let's take a look at the next clip.
I had thought, however, that I was kind of done. Because when you're done with the last level, do you go to another plane and you don't have to come back?
At the very end?
Yeah.
End of level 10? Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping to be a level 10.
I meet a lot of people who hope they will be.
The competitor in me would want to be a level 10, but we were reviewing the different stages of the soul and the different ages of the soul. The younger souls who are here are, when you're at level 1, as we said, you want to lead a more simplistic life and really kind of almost afraid
it's
of
like
being
you're gradually getting used to being here and moving into the bigger world.
Now, according to McLeod's spirit guides, which are in reality demons, level 1 people are fearful and they are just getting their feet wet, so to speak, on this earthly plane. Now, next we're going to see Oprah taking advantage of this discussion, and that has provided her with yet another opportunity to diss Christians. Now, if I'm hearing her correctly, they are equating terrorists with Christians and lumping them together in the soul level 2 category. Let's take a look at the next clip.
And level 2?
Again, the same thing.
Are less afraid of the world than they were in their first few lifetimes. Still, they prefer not to take any chances. They protect themselves with things like AK-47s, draconian laws, and vengeful gods.
Right.
They see the world in terms of black and white, them and us, and good and evil. Their fundamentalism and obedience to authority helps them avoid facing what might be uncomfortable questions.
Now, did she just lump together terrorists with Christians? Oh, but wait, it gets worse. Well, let's take a look at the next clip.
That's why I was so shocked that Mother Teresa was a level
3, I believe.
Level 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Mother Teresa, who we think of as Mother Teresa, altruistic, sacrificing herself, giving up everything for everybody else. I would think of that, had I not read this book, as being what a level 10 would be.
Right.
Why did you
Well, she was doing it for certain reasons.
Why do you say she's level 3, though?
I'm
going to go where level 3 is. Level 3. Belonging.
Well, it was if you think of the very strong religious aspect to her, that's part of it. Yeah.
And how you know this?
My spirit guides tell me.
Spirit guides. Okay.
Now, in part 2, McLeod's demon guides are going to explain to us the afterlife, which, according to these demons, after we complete level 10, we head off into the astral plane. And Oprah is going to ask him a very important question. Is that where the angels are? I think you might be surprised at his response.